Good afternoon, this is RF Samaki with the latest in my online battle reports for the game Birds of Steel, played on Xbox 360. Each of these games is an online versus match played against a mix of AI and other real opponents, and I am slowly trying to document my ability to improve my dogfighting skills. This set of videos I am flying the MC-202, the Italian Lightning or Folgore. And for this game, I set up an online versus match. So this is full flight simulation capabilities, except that you do have a map with marked dotted enemies on it. And here I am flying on the Italian map, a little bit of a different flight map that I've played before. This one has you're supposed to capture the airfields. There are two airfields. The one down in front of me is the enemy airfield, and mine is back behind me. Most of the action in this game tends to take place low altitude and over those airfields. So here I am tracking a Spitfire. I don't recall whether this was an AI or a real player, probably an AI, but that turn there caused me to overshoot him. He's on somebody else's tail, and so I'm going after, looks like a little spin out, so that might actually be a real player. I am working on a number of things in my dogfighting. One is to learn the flight characteristics and abilities. That the plane is way back behind me and reverse the other direction. I'm working on learning the flight characteristics and abilities of each plane. The Folgore is a nice change from the BF-110 I was flying before, because this plane has actually got a little bit of energy. You can take off, you can maintain pretty good speeds. And another thing we're working on is the implementation and use of combat flaps to increase my turning speed. So with combat flaps on, this plane can turn pretty close to Spitfire's its general turning. Now, at this point, I don't know whether I switched off of the Spitfire I was on and onto another one, but I am on again the tail of a Spitfire, and so I'm keeping up with this one. You can see sort of from the bottom that this plane does a pretty good job staying at or above 400 kilometers per hour, which is pretty good, so I can actually catch up to other planes. Again, unlike some of the other early warplanes I've been flying. So here, turn on the combat flaps in order to turn sharply, and then turn them off again, because combat flaps cause you to lose velocity. With this low altitude flying, I really don't want to lose velocity and hit the ground. One thing I don't yet know how to work is the gun sight here. It's not clear to me. For a lot of the planes anyway, approximately regular fighter plane's wing touch the outer rims of the circle at 100 meters. They're set up that way, and I've got my conversion set to 150. So she asked when they're a little bit smaller than that in that circle. What's not clear to me on this plane is whether the 100-meter circle is the inner ring or the outer ring. I did manage to hit the Spitfire there and cause some oil tank damage. You can see in a second he's kind of hugging the ground just above the trees. You can see that he is starting to leak some smoke. So I'm applying a few more hits. I'm trying to apply a few more hits here. The Folgore, the MC-202, has only wing machine guns, no cannons, and so it's been really hard for me to actually hit anything in this plane. I'm trying, but it's been difficult to get good kills. So here, trying to stay on this guy's tail, anticipating the turn and moving up behind him. And again, the velocity on this has been such that I've been able to actually catch up to planes. It's not clear. He's just about maybe 150, maybe 200 meters away, not that far away. I'm not really sure. I'm still trying to work that out for myself. If anybody knows, please put that information in the comments under the video. And so again, staying on him, and I can't believe that it didn't get really great hits on him, but it was enough to where I did shoot him down. And just that moment, I got myself shot down by a Spitfire. So it seems that while I was doing okay, I was failing to check my 6, and that was kind of a miserable failure, because I should have known that there was somebody on my tail, or at least I should have been a little bit more brave about reacting to this shots coming from behind. Here I am respawned in this map. You don't take off from your airstrip. You respawn from the air. It is a nice thing, though. If you do get injured, you can go back to your own airstrip, land, and you will refuel and repair. So that's a plus on this map. But you do start off from the air. It's nice in a plane that's difficult to gain velocity. So this plane, you start off and you're pretty close to about 350, 400 kilometers per hour, which is pretty good. And I have to bank north along. This is actually a really nice map. It sits along the edge of the coast. So to my right there is the coast. Ahead you can see a really pretty set of mountains. And if you ever fly around this map, there's a number of nice sights to see, some cathedrals, some castles. Some of them are actually not very far from where this map is taking place. But here we are trying to track. Now, I respawned about the same time that the other player opponent respawned, and so I actually tracked him visually from the air. You can see his plane just above the horizon. And I anticipate his turn into me by turning early, hopefully to beat him on the turn. You can see my reverse. One of the things I feel like I'm actually beginning to do is really anticipate the location of the planes, so I don't have to visually track them all the time, but I have a pretty good idea where to look for them once we've passed. I don't think this guy saw me, or where I was. He wasn't sure, wasn't able to track me, so this is a player, by the way. So he cuts down in front of me. I did a quick shot, so he must know I'm on him, and again, tried a quick snapshot. Didn't manage to hit anything there either, at least not that I know of. Didn't do any real damage. One of the things I have to remember is on a machine gun heavy plane is to hold my fire down for a long time rather than these sort of 1 second bursts. Give it a long enough burst to actually do something. Risk running out of ammo just to get the kill, I think. So here I am still tracking him. He's flying close to the ground now, so I'm dropping my nose to gain some speed. Zooming in to check out where he is, and attempting to stay on his 6. I'm keeping my nose below him because I'm still trying to pick up some speed there. And he's flying fairly straight, and I'm really gaining on him right now. So here, try to slowly line up the shot, keep those, he's dropping his wheels. Quick shot, hit him, his cooling system in, knocked his wings, so sent him crumbling to the deck. Turns out that was a friend of mine that is flying, and he was just deciding he was going to try to land, and I hit him just as he was beginning to drop his gear down. So we've just recovered, bringing this map back on. Here I am flying back over one of the contestable airfields, and I've got an AI on my tail, so I turn the combat flaps on here, pull up, and try to do some really sharp turns just to stay alive to the very, very end of the game. I knew the game was going to end any second now, so I finished this one up. But this game ended with 1 death and 2 kills, which wasn't too bad considering I'm still letting him fly this plane. There's the Gladiator still on me. Again, combat flaps on, trying to keep a sharp turn out of his range. I wish my own AI would shoot this guy down, but they never seem to pull anybody off their tail. Now that game was from about a week ago. This game was from this most recent weekend. Again, I played with the same friendly player. It was Pops, and we decided to explore a different map. So here we are flying on the Battle of the Bulge map near the city of the Bastogne, and again flying the MC-202. Pops was trying out a couple different kinds of planes in this game. This map features 3 different airstrips. 3 different areas, not airstrips, but 3 different areas that you have to take over. So it's actually a fairly expansive map with a lot of flying around. It's difficult to encounter necessarily the one other player in the board, and you're flying around from one different area to the other looking for them. There is the nice city spread out below me. I do like this map, but unfortunately I'm in my summer camo, so I'm not going to blend in on this map. But in the first part of this game, trying to maintain velocity and see if I can't spot an enemy plane to go after. So there's a little bit of action there. That plane that's inside my reticle, that's a Gladiator biplane, an Allied biplane, so typically flown by AI. But it pulled up, and there's no way I was going to get the velocity to follow him up. So I looked at this guy again, another Gladiator, tried a quick shot, but they went over me. So I attempted to quick reverse to get back on them. You can see his plane there just above the horizon on the right. And he shot somebody down just there. And he pulls to my left sharply, and I'm ready to go. There's one of my own planes on his tail, and at least one other plane to the right. So I started to go that way, changed my mind, and I'm now reversing to see if I can look for an enemy player. A lot of scanning, not so much looking around to my 6, so that's something I do have to watch out for, just to check out who is possibly behind me. There is a plane up ahead, skirting the horizon, and since it was a lone plane, I thought it might be my friend Pops, so I decided to stalk him, go after him. He's still pretty far away, so I dropped my nose to gain some velocity, so I can sneak up or catch up to him eventually, and pull a little bit of a lead turn also to cut some of the angle and catch up to him a little more quickly. There we go, I checked at the 6. That last one was not very useful, but the first turn, the inside look was pretty good. Still trying to catch up to the plane. It's just to the right of my firing reticle, and I'm getting closer. He's flying away from me, and hopefully does not spot me. And it looks to be a Spitfire. So here I tried to anticipate his turn. He pulled up and did some weird loopy maneuvers. I went inverted there to see if I could match where he was going to go, and I'm catching up at this point. Here, quick fire across his tail, and he managed to hit his engine, and a second or two later he goes down. So Splash 1 turns out that was an AI and not a human player, but it was at least a kill. There is only, and looking up ahead of me, I got lucky. Right in front of me, as I looked, I spotted the telltale silhouette of a P-38 Lightning. Pops has been sort of struggling with the P-38 Lightning, finding it difficult to maneuver and keep velocity and turn in. So I figured this was my friend Pops flying this, and so I go to stalk him here, try to catch up on him. A little bit of a lead turn, and I lost sight of him, so he pulled across my nose faster than I expected. Fortunately for me, he leveled out, but there is an AI shooting at him, so he pulls a defensive maneuver from the AI, not realizing that I'm back there. Drops his nose down and goes for velocity, which is probably the right move in this plane. And I try to quick snapshot there, but he doesn't know that he's got two guys on him. He's still maneuvering to get away from the AI. He turns, and I have turned with him. You can see the AI there on the left, Pops is on the right, and sadly I was afraid this AI was going to steal the kill. I'm not sure if I stole it from him, or I was afraid he's going to finish Pops off. So Pops again drops down, speeds velocity. He's been hit and is trailing oil, but I'm keeping up velocity on him so far, as long as I can maintain vision. There I hit his fuel, and close enough now to our quick shot and shear off his wings, bringing him down. So I did get credit for that kill. Not too bad in this plane. It's easier to fly than some of the others. 5 more kills, I'll earn the skin, so I'll see you guys soon. Thanks. Cheers.